As America and Iran continue trading conflicting claims over the Strait of Hormuz, a new maritime incident has now been reported in the strategically vital waterway. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, or UKMTO, received a late report that a bulk carrier had been struck while navigating through the Strait of Hormuz. The carrier was reportedly hit by an unknown projectile while transiting the Strait of Hormuz, raising fresh concerns over the safety of commercial shipping in the region. The impact damaged the starboard side of the vessel and resulted in a casualty among the crew, adding to concerns over the escalating risks facing ships in the area. According to the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, no environmental impact was reported following the incident, despite the damage sustained by the vessel. Vessels operating through the area have been advised to transit with extreme caution and report any suspicious activity as tensions continue to surround the Strait of Hormuz. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, but Donald Trump insists the critical waterway is still open. So which side actually controls the route? Donald Trump denies that talks with Iran are underway, even as the U.S. naval blockade continues to put pressure on Tehran and restrict movement through the region. Tehran and Trump are sending completely different signals over the Strait of Hormuz, but who really controls the vital waterway now, Iran or the United States? All water mines removed, Trump declares as he says the Strait of Hormuz is now open for shipping. But can commercial vessels safely return to one of the world's most strategically important waterways? In a post on Truth Social, Trump said, and I quote, "There are no talks or conversations going on or scheduled with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval blockade remains in full force and effect. The Hormuz Strait is open and operating. All water mines have been removed or detonated. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Unquote. Trump's statement directly contradicted Iran's claim that the Strait of Hormuz had been closed, creating a sharp dispute over whether the crucial waterway was actually open or shut.
And let me make it clear, until America implements its commitments under the Memorandum of Understanding, the strait will not be reopened.
Hopes of reviving diplomacy over the Strait of Hormuz are fading after Iran said the waterway will remain closed until Washington fulfills the terms of the interim agreement. Iran's top negotiator, Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, has delivered a stark message to Donald Trump: meet Tehran's conditions under the deal, or Hormuz will remain shut. With the June memorandum suspended and negotiations stalled, fears are growing that the US-Iran conflict could enter another dangerous phase of confrontation instead of returning to peace talks. Iran says it may shift from a defensive to a fully offensive posture if diplomacy fails, warning Washington that further escalation could bring new and unexpected responses. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed until the United States fulfills the conditions set out in the interim agreement between the two sides. Iran's top negotiator, Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, made the statement on August 18, according to comments carried by Iranian state media and reported by Reuters.
And let me make it clear, until America implements its commitments under the Memorandum of Understanding, including lifting the blockade on the release of frozen assets, lifting the oil sanctions, ending threats and military operations on all fronts, and other conditions that America has agreed to under the understanding, the strait will not be reopened.
The Memorandum of Understanding reached on June 17 quickly unraveled after Iran and the United States disagreed over control and reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. US President Donald Trump declared the agreement over on July 7, while Iran's foreign ministry said 1 week later that the deal had been suspended. With diplomacy stalled and no progress toward a permanent settlement, a senior Iranian official said Tehran would shift to a fully offensive military posture. Trump also posted a map labeling the Strait of Hormuz as US territory, adding another provocative layer to the escalating dispute over control of the strategic waterway. Meanwhile, the Houthis have claimed they carried out attacks on 5 vessels, including an alleged Saudi military ship, but the details of the reported strikes remain unverified. Did Houthi missiles actually hit a Saudi Arabia ship? So far, there is no independent proof confirming that the alleged strike took place in the Red Sea. The Houthis are claiming a major missile attack against multiple vessels, but Saudi authorities have yet to publicly confirm or comment on the alleged strike. Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Saree announced the claims on Telegram, providing the group's account of what it says was a coordinated maritime attack. The Houthis said missiles were used in the alleged attacks, but they did not specify what type of missiles were fired or how many projectiles were launched. The Houthis also stopped short of identifying the purported Saudi vessel or the 4 other ships they claimed were targeted, leaving key details of the alleged operation unclear. Meanwhile, Yemen's Houthi rebels also claim to have struck a Saudi Aramco refinery on August 18, according to Press TV, adding another potential flashpoint to the escalating regional tensions. Houthi-run media said several drones accurately hit targets inside the Aramco facility in Jizan, in southwestern Saudi Arabia. The Houthis said the strike was a response to what they described as Saudi violations of Yemeni airspace and sovereignty over the provinces of Sada and Hajjah. Houthi forces have vowed to target strategic sites inside Saudi Arabia as tensions between the group and Riyadh continue to escalate. The rebels have threatened more severe attacks if Saudi Arabia continues its military buildup and pressure against Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. The group has reaffirmed its siege-for-siege strategy, saying it will target Saudi military deployments, interests and infrastructure in response to what it calls a Saudi blockade of Yemen. Missile factories are humming, but are the Houthis now getting fresh target lists from Iran? Is Iran quietly preparing for something much bigger as tensions across the Gulf continue to escalate? IRGC takes control, missiles multiply, while Trump keeps talking. Is Tehran preparing for war? The question nobody is asking: why is Iran rapidly preparing its defenses right now, before the next showdown? Iran quietly turns the Gulf into a powder keg and hands the match to the Houthis as tensions explode across the region. Amid the stalemate with America, Iran continues preparing for a fresh battle, putting its forces on a war footing. Tehran is now reportedly preparing for a conflict that could potentially spread across the entire Gulf and draw in regional powers. Iran is allegedly skeptical that the US and Israel may use the June memorandum as a pretext for launching bigger attacks. Instead, Tehran has expanded missile and drone production even as its diplomats continue pursuing negotiations with Washington. Mojtaba Khamenei has also moved to give the IRGC greater control over Iran's military, strengthening its influence. Iran has reportedly appointed hardline veterans to key security and military positions as tensions with America continue. The IRGC has also allegedly expanded domestic counterintelligence operations ahead of a potentially wider regional conflict. Iranian commanders were reportedly sent to Houthi-controlled areas to help plan a possible escalation, according to the Wall Street Journal. The IRGC reportedly helped position missiles, naval weapons and drones around the Red Sea, expanding Iran's regional reach. Iran also allegedly provided the Houthis with target lists and intelligence on Saudi facilities, according to reports. Iraq and Lebanon were also reportedly drawn into Iran's plans for a wider regional escalation, potentially widening the battlefield. Iran's new IRGC chief, Ahmad Vahidi, was tasked with preparing offensive operations against Tehran's enemies, according to reports. An advisor to Iran's negotiators described the current stalemate as a calm before the storm, hinting at what could come next.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.